Good morning. It's about 6 a.m. here in Charlotte, North Carolina, as I'm making this video. First up on the turntable is this Beatles Bootleg. No obvious title. This is stuff from 1964 and 1969 live stuff, as bootlegs usually are. So the purpose of this video, just kind of want to show you guys, I know a lot of you that follow me on Instagram were curious about posts that I just posted. So last week I got a call from a lady that worked at a recycling center, and she said that somebody had just dropped off a ton of records that they just didn't want anymore and they were recycled. That's all I knew. And she sent me a picture, and it was a whole entire pallet of records. It was about, she said there was 100 in each box, and there's 30 boxes, so it's 3,000 records. So I was obviously intrigued. My fear that it was a collector, or not a collector, but a dealer that was his extra stuff that he couldn't sell, and it was just junk. That was a big fear, because a lot of times when I have stuff I don't know what to do with, I usually just take it to the dump, because I don't want to drop it off at Goodwill and then everybody out who's digging has to look through all my garbage that's worthless anyways, and then they waste time dealing with it and they don't know it's not worth anything. So anyways, they said, well, we just want to get a little bit of money out of this stuff, otherwise we're just gonna have to recycle the materials. So I drove out there. It was about an hour away. I got out there, started looking through the stuff. It was a good bit of a mix of everything, but what it was is the local college. It was actually Wingate College. Which is nearby. It's actually where my dad graduated school. He got his degree there. But anyway, so local college, they had this stuff in storage since 1984. Nobody's touched it since 1984. And they just had them on shelves in storage, and they were cleaning out their storage, so somebody went in there and boxed everything up, took it down to the recycling center and just dumped it. And so, I started looking through everything. As you would imagine, it was a lot of classical, a lot of stuff like that, and I was just like, there was enough in there to kind of spark my interest. There's some really interesting stuff in there. So I said, how much you want for everything? And she was like, I just need to get rid of the stuff. What we're gonna have to do is pull each record out of each sleeve, recycle the paper stuff, and then melt down all the vinyl, the plastic, which is what it is now. And then we can recycle that. And she said everything we could probably make a couple $100 on the materials. And she's like, just being honest, if you want everything, to save us from all the trouble of having to pull every record out of every sleeve, it'll take us hours. If you just want to take everything for $100, you can have it for $100. And even at that, I was like, man, it's gonna be heavy, like loading all this stuff up. But I went ahead and did it for the pure reason that it was cool to me that my dad, he's told me about him spending hours in that library, and he could have listened to some of these records himself. And that was cool to me. And also, there's a lot of really cool educational stuff in here that was just going to get melted. So I just felt like it would be good to preserve some of this stuff. And so I'm having a really good time looking through it, processing through everything, finding a lot of really, really cool stuff in there, but I'm not even halfway through looking through everything. But I've just picked out a small stack of stuff I found in there, some of the more interesting stuff. I'm learning a lot about classical. I'm doing research on what classical is worth some money and what's not. Some of the classical is worth a good bit of money. You just got to kind of figure out what that is, and I don't know. So I'm just kind of doing a lot of research, learning a lot about that. That's kind of a valuable skill set to have, is to know what classical is worth money, because I see it all the time and never pick it up because it's usually not worth anything. First one, this was the first box. When I got home and unloaded all the boxes, the first box I went through. This is one of the first ones I found. John Coltrane at the Village Vanguard Impulse. As you can see, this gatefold. As you can see, it's got these checkout cards on the front. These are pretty easy to get off. I just have left these on just because I want to. I've got a few techniques I want to try out to not ruin the. If you just rip them off, I don't want to do that. So I've left most of those on, but that one's actually one I've been looking for. I had it a long time ago and sold it. This is a really cool one. Chris Toombs from the Man Cave's already called dibs on this one, but one of the reasons why I bought this collection is because I started seeing some Folkways stuff in there. If you guys are familiar with Folkways records, they just have some really cool stuff. Blues and jazz and all that stuff. This is Lead Belly's Legacy Volume 3. What's funny is I already have this, surprisingly. It was a 10-inch, and this is absolutely one of my favorite records. And I hate that I've already got it. I wish it was Volume 1 or 2 or 4 or whatever. But it's Volume 3, which I already have. And I'll show you the label. This one's in really good shape. And then a lot of these old Folkways records, if you guys have had them before, they come with like programs. So it'll be information about the artist. I've even got each song and all that stuff. It's purely educational stuff. It's really cool. It talks about Lead Belly and all that stuff in there. I've even got a Woody Guthrie one that's got like sheet music in there and guitar tabs and stuff. Really cool. Here, I'll pull out the rest of these. Here's two more Folkways I was going to show you. This one is really cool. I'll definitely keep. This is Between the Sound and the Sea. This is music of the North Carolina Outer Banks. And me being from North Carolina, it's really super cool to me. It's white label. This one's got the program in it too. But really cool stuff. This is different people playing like bluegrass and stuff, pictures of them playing. So really excited to listen to that. I hadn't listened to it yet, but the covers are pretty identifiable. It's a black sleeve, and they just have like a piece of paper pasted to the jacket. So that's pretty much with all the Folkways. This Beatles Bootleg is getting wild. This is the orchestra and its instruments. You know, it's orchestra stuff, so I don't know how much I'll enjoy it, but like I said, I collect Folkways stuff, so that's pretty cool. This one's called, I'm not even going to pronounce it. It's not potato. Potato and Totico. This is a promo copy. This is a Cuban album. It's actually worth quite a bit of money. I'm excited to listen to this one from MGM label. That's just, man, that's a really cool record. When I found that one, sometimes you find one, you don't know anything about it, but you know it's worth some money. This one is Robert Frost reading his own poems. This one, I looked it up, and it's worth a little bit. It's not worth a ton, but I found it really intriguing, so that's one I picked out. Terry Riley Incorporated. Oh, no. Terry Riley and C, sorry. It's in the key of C, not incorporated. I thought it was incorporated when I first got it, but it's Terry Riley and C. I have another Terry Riley record. This is him composing like some classical work and stuff, so I haven't heard this, but that one's worth some money too. This one was really cool. Karen Irvin, percussionist. This is on WIM Records, W-I-M. I picked this one out and just looked it up on Discogs, and it was worth some money too. It's just like some percussion stuff. I don't know, but this lady, she looks like she's a trip. I mean, she's really getting it right there. But she's apparently a phenomenal percussionist. India Treasures and Sound. This is on United Artists. Usually anything from this era on United Artists can be worth money, so I grabbed it. This one is music of Bach, early piano and clavichord, Joan Benson. This one is one I just kind of had a feeling about it and looked it up, and I think this was worth about $50. But it's on Orion Records. Really, really cool looking record. I haven't listened to it yet, but certain albums, you know, like clavichord stuff, some of it's worth money, some of it's not. But I found that a lot of the more valuable classical records are violin sonatas and stuff. But anything that's played on violin apparently is worth a lot more money. It seems that way to me. I'm sure that there's other, tips you guys can give me. If any of you guys are classical buffs and kind of ways to identify certain ones that are worth more money than the other ones, I would very much appreciate any advice. But this is the one classical one I picked out. I picked out a lot of classical ones that I found that are worth some money. This one, Leonard Cohen, he is a violinist, and pretty much anything he plays on, it's worth a lot of money. If you look up on eBay, some of the highest selling classical records that have gone through, he has the highest selling ones. I mean, so I'm excited to listen to this, but also maybe I found probably 10 of his in there. So hopefully some of those will pan out and be worth a little bit of money. And then some of them have this, it's like a stick that they've taped to the inner sleeve, to where you can pull it out, and they've written on there what it is. So you've got the title on both sides of the jacket. It's really cool. But they did that apparently in libraries. But this is on Angel Records. A lot of these recordings are on Angel Records. I don't know anything about Angel Records. Apparently it was a classical label. So anyways, but my main reason for doing this wasn't, because I'm not going to make a lot of money off this stuff. Probably 80% of it I won't be able to use at all. But sometimes you buy a collection and you learn more. The knowledge that you get is worth more than the money that you make. So I'm learning a lot about this stuff. I'm kind of taking my time going through it. I don't think any of this stuff is stuff I could sell at any of my pop-ups or anything like that. I've got a few collectors that I know that are into classical, and they're kind of helping me guide me through, what I should look for and all that stuff. So everything's in really good shape, other than the cards being pasted to the front. So I'm just really excited to be able to go through the stuff and just kind of be able to rescue it, because literally they were about to melt it down, and I was able to get in there and get it from them before they did that. So I had to load it up into my Expedition, and the guy that was helping me load was like, there's no way you're going to get it all in there. And I was like, look, man, I've loaded records in this thing 1,000 times. I know what I can get in there. I can fit it all in there. He's like, no way you can fit it all in there. And I was like, I bet you $20 I can get every single one in this car. He's like, all right, $20. He just sat there and watched me, and I got every record in there. And I had to take some out of the boxes to put them in different places. But so actually, it was only $80 because he gave me $20. But anyways, that was a lot of fun. But no, I'm excited about seeing what else I can find in there. And if you guys want me to take a look, keep a lookout for anything if you're into classical. I have found a few like avant-garde jazz things that are, some of them are worth money, some of them aren't. I've actually got another stack here somewhere of jazz stuff that I pulled out. I thought it was in that one, but anyways. So, yeah, anything that you guys want me to keep an eye out for, or if you have any tips on classical stuff, because probably 70%, 75% is classical. So, I'm just learning that kind of is fun and interesting. And I've always loved classical, but it's like I have no palate for it. I mean, it all sounds the same to me. So I'm really kind of I'm excited about getting the chance to get through this stuff and learn more about just history of, music. I mean, there's sets in there that goes through like each era of music, of like, this was the 1740s and the music that came out that year, and different styles and stuff. There's stuff that comes with books, stuff that comes with sheet music. Like it's a lot of really cool stuff. Some of you guys might think it's super lame, but I think it's cool. I think it's really interesting. And for $100, I couldn't really lose. The price wasn't really the money. It was the moving them and finding a place for them. Like I had to clear out my space. I've got probably, I've got all these shelves right here. I'm looking at about 3,000, 4,000 that I have on shelves, and then in boxes like towards the other end of my room I've got 6,000 or 7,000. So I'm about 10,000 records in this room right now, so I'm to capacity. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with them. And then I've got a bunch of stuff that's like dollar stuff, probably 5,000 under like dollar stuff that I need to do a bulk sale on probably. So anyways, thank you guys for listening to my rambling ons, and I am super excited about any tips you guys can give me or feedback or anything like that. So anyways, thank you guys always for watching videos. We're super busy right now getting ready for our trip and everything. So the official route to our trip, we're officially taking, we're going from Charlotte to Atlanta to Jackson, Mississippi, to Waco, Texas, to Lubbock, Texas, to Albuquerque. We're definitely going to go through Roswell because why not? And I know that's not the quickest route, but that's the route we're going to take for different reasons. And then we're going to be in Albuquerque for a few weeks. We're going to hit the Grand Canyon while we're up there. And then on our way back, we're going to hit Oklahoma City, Memphis, Nashville, back to Charlotte. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we've actually decided not to do pop-ups because it's going to add a lot of stress to the trip. And I'm a little bit concerned about bringing all these records out to the desert to be melted. So I don't want to warp anything, and also the trip's kind of more about family than about vinyl. So I'm sure I'll be picking up some stuff and making some videos. So anyways, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.